Hey everybody, this is Lana Michelson from LanaMichelson.com, and today I was looking through some of the reviews that I got for one of my courses on Udemy, which is Introduction to Fast EFT, Tapping in the Heat of the Moment, and someone made a comment which at first I wasn't sure whether I liked it or not, but I decided that she was actually right. What she wrote over there is what she was expecting to possibly see more how to use this tapping in the moment in order to manifest things, and not just to get you out of a negative loop. So this is an answer to that. If you've bought the course and you'll see in addition to it, you'll know that this is the addition that I'm adding to it. So you don't actually have to go and watch it unless you'd like to go watch it again. And if you haven't bought it, you might be interested in buying it because it has some good information over there. But let's get into the meat of why I'm actually talking of here today, another inspiration. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because tapping in the heat of the moment can lead to manifestation. And how can you do that? I'll just demonstrate it through a personal example of my own. When I first got divorced 12 years ago, I was a stay-at-home mom for 6 small children, and I didn't have any work. Not only did I not have any work at the time, besides one English lesson a week, which was approximately the equivalent of $20 a week or $80 a month, which is really not enough to support me and my 6 children. But I also had this belief that the man of the house was supposed to earn the money. And there was no man in the house at that point to earn the money. It was just me. And so every time I would get a bill, I would go into panic and anxiety. How was I going to pay this bill? And I would start tapping and releasing the anxiety and releasing the panic and releasing the fear that I wasn't going to be able to pay the bill. Now, at the beginning, when I would tap in the heat of the moment, meaning the first moment that I started to feel that anxiety, which was usually the first moment I saw that bill right in front of me, I would right away tap until I didn't feel the fear anymore. Now, when you're tapping in the heat of the moment, you're ending a loop for that moment, but you're not necessarily ending the problem at large. What you're really doing is you're cutting it down a little bit, and then another little bit, and then a little bit. Every time you tap heat of the moment, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, until eventually it disappears. Now, it took me the first 2-3 weeks I was tapping something like 7-8 times a day. The second 2-3 weeks, I was tapping something like 2 or 3 times a day. The third 2-3 weeks, I was tapping like once a day. The fourth 2-3 weeks, I was tapping maybe 2 or 3 times a week. By the time that a few months had passed, whether it be, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, I can't tell exactly right now what exactly it was, I was tapping maybe once a week until suddenly I realized, hey, I'm getting a bill now, and I don't feel it at all. Now, this is important because this is the first step of manifestation. As long as I was focusing on the fear of not being able to pay the bills, in essence, I was bringing to myself more bills to not be able to pay. Once I was able to release that fear of not being able to pay the bills, and I no longer had it, I was able to, number 1, allow money, number 2, allow in, you might say, less bills. Now, probably I didn't have many less bills because you still have to pay the water bill, you still have to pay the electricity bill, still have to pay, the taxes and all the city taxes and all those things. But because I was no longer having this dread about the bills and this dread of not having enough money, and the lack of money was no longer at the forefront of my mind, and I could get a bill without having anything changed, but yet I knew somehow in my mind I was going to be able to pay it. It was going to always came to me in the past, and it was going to continue to come to me in the future. That is what opened the doors for me to allow more money to come into my life. And within a short time after that, more money did start flowing into my life. I started getting more clients in Fast EFT, and they were paying me, and I was able to pay the bills without that much problem. So remember, the first step to any manifestation is to get rid of that negative loop. Because as long as you're in that negative loop, what you're really focusing on is the negativity, not the positivity. Once you get rid of that negativity, you can then move forward into the positivity and then actually manifest what it is that you want to manifest. For those courses, for those ideas of how to manifest what you want to manifest, I have other courses available, which you'd be more than happy to see on either Udemy or on TabletWise. And you can also have many other ways of manifestation that are online for free or any other place. But the important thing is you first have to get yourself out of that negative loop of thinking Because as long as you're in that negative loop of thinking, you won't be able to open the doors to allow anything. You're constantly be focusing on the lack as opposed to focusing on having it. So hope this answers the question of how you can use this method of tapping in the heat of the moment in order to actually manifest something. And have a great evening, morning, night, wherever you are. Take care. From Ilana Michelson.